Now to an early morning fight at a nightclub that turned into a deadly shooting, and it happened just feet away from the Golden One Center. Police say 4 people were hit by gunfire and 2 of them didn't survive. Fox 40's Doug Johnson is live at K and 7th Streets, where detectives have been gathering evidence there all day. Doug, what's the latest?
Allie, you can see even all these hours later behind me, police still out here on the scene. It doesn't seem that they might be cleaning up now. We still have a lot of unanswered questions at this point in time, but what we do know for sure is that 2 people lost their lives here.
Just as bars and clubs on K Street were closing for the night,
I just heard gunshots, that's all I heard.
Greg Lee says the shots came from just below his apartment.
We were just laying in watching movies, I guess about 1:30, 1:45, and just heard a couple shots, then a bunch of repeated shots after that.
Sacramento police say 4 people were hit by the gunfire, all of whom came from a nearby nightclub.
My girl's son called and said that it was a shooting out here. He works in one of the clubs over here. So we came out and seen the young man's body laying on the ground.
That man was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say a woman was also found shot nearby, but she's expected to be okay. There were also 2 other men who had been shot, but they were not there when officers arrived.
There were 2 victims at a local area hospital who had also sustained gunshot wounds, and they determined that those gunshot wounds were related to this shooting.
One of those 2 is expected to survive, but the other didn't make it. The coroner's office has identified one of the deceased victims as 26-year-old Abram Oates.
Just hope for the best for his family and all the families involved, and hope we have a better year for everybody.
Police are not saying yet how many guns were involved, nor if any of the victims also fired shots.
There's a lot involved, so they need to piece it all together, but it's going to take time, and we don't want to give out any inaccurate information at this time.
Meanwhile, Lee heard the shooting started as a fight at the club, an argument he feels never should have ended like this.
It's terrible to see a young man. I walk out this morning and see a young man partially naked, dead, laying on the cold concrete. It's sad, and we all need to do better.
Now, this did happen around last call, so police say there were a lot of witnesses in the area, many of whom still have not spoken with them. They would like to speak to some of those witnesses, again, just to figure out and piece together what exactly happened. Reporting live in downtown Sacramento tonight, Doug Johnson, Fox 40 News.
Thank you, Doug. And we want to stick with this story for just a second. In October, Sacramento police reported a spike in crime along the K Street corridor. And while city leaders tell us they are working to get more patrols in that area, they also want to remind the public, if they see something, say something. And Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg is also weighing in on that shooting that Doug just told you about and recent fights that happened near the Arden Fair Mall. And the mayor called out the events, and he called them, quote, unacceptable for our great city. The mayor adds that he feels the teens who have been creating the disturbances at Arden Fair should be held accountable for their actions. And he says when appropriate, there should be arrests and prosecution. He also suggested that it might be necessary for Arden Fair to temporarily prohibit anyone under the age of 18 from visiting the mall without a parent or a guardian. And you can read more of the mayor's statement about both of these incidents on our website, fox40.com.